Hello and welcome back to Scatterbrook Farm Garden Designs. Hope you're all well and all enjoying doing your designing. Okay, I've had a viewer go by the name of Spooky. Now I'm not sure whether that's the name of the farm or name of a nickname of a person, but they said that would it be possible that Scatterbrook Farm could do a farm review, just to have a look at the farm and give him some pointers and let me know what I think of the farm. Now, I've had a brief look. He gave me his level and everything. I've had a brief look at it, and I was a little bit sort of in shock, a little bit. I'll show you why. Where is he? We got to look at now. Spooky there, level 42. Now, when I first went onto this farm, I sort of looked, but I didn't know what to look at because, as you can see, there are hundreds and hundreds of dead bushes and dead trees. Now, I'm sort of 100%, well, 90% sure that he's called this farm Spooky because obviously all the dead trees and it looks spooky. So I haven't got a problem with that. I'm not a lover of lots of dead trees because it's, they let me explain. If you've got the name Spooky, now that could be a nickname of somebody. Okay. So when somebody goes on and they're in the paper or on the friends bar and they go and oh, there's Spooky. Now straight away they're going to look at it. Oh, is that's a person's name, a nickname? And when they go onto the farm, they're hit with this. Now, when I look at that, even though you might see some of the machines working, that farm looks abandoned because there's so much dead. There's dead trees, dead bushes. It looks as though it's all abandoned. It looks as though it's all, nothing's in use. It's sort of they've harvested the trees and the bushes and they haven't chopped them down, and it's all just looks like a completely dead farm. Okay, now if it's for the reason the name's Spooky because he likes the farm with dead trees and it looks spooky with all the dead trees, that's absolutely fine. And I can see where he's coming from, because it looks eerie. You've got all these dead trees and that as you walk around it's spooky. So I can understand what he's done there. But for the average player or the normal player that comes onto the game, even if they don't look at the name, they go onto that farm and they literally go, oh dear, and they're off. They're off the farm straight away. They think, oh dear me. Especially if you want to go onto somebody's friends bar and they check your farm out first to see what sort of farm that you've got, and they look at that and they think, oh dear, no thank you. Okay, so first thing I would do there, because you've got your machines placed out and they're in some nice places and you've got the little bays that they go in and got your machine work in there, ready to be made, and you've got your animals. Again, you see you've got a few trees there that are sort of blending with the animals, and it just looks too, well, dead basically. It's two clashes. But if that's what you want, absolutely no problem. But what we've got to do for you is, first and foremost, I would change the name of the farm. So the farm name, you need to give it a name like Spooky Meadows, Spooky Forest, Spooky Woodlands. Now what this does is, if you were to have the name Spooky Meadows, people would look at the name and think, they'd think Spooky Meadows or Spooky Woodlands. So as soon as they've seen the name Spooky Woodlands, when they go onto the farm, what are they seeing? They're seeing woodlands. Okay, and you've got spooky woodlands because they're dead and they're overhanging and they look, they look spooky as you walk around. But if you just keep the name Spooky, all of a sudden people think, well, that must be his nickname. And when they go onto the farm, they think, oh dear. But if you've got the name Spooky, anything, Spooky Farm, Spooky Meadows, Spooky Woodlands, give it a spooky farm name so that it resembles your farm. When we go on to mine, I've got Scatterbrook. Now, obviously, Scatterbrook Farm was a children's TV program with a scarecrow that came to life. Really, really, I used to love watching it as a kid. And it's just got a nice ring to it, Scatterbrook Farm. And I thought to myself, well, rather than just having the name Scatterbrook, perhaps I could incorporate loads of rivers and brooks so that when people go on, anybody that doesn't know what Scatterbrook Farm is all about, they can look at that and think Scatterbrook. Oh yeah, all the rivers, brooks, all the streams, Scatterbrook. Oh yeah. So it gives that, it helps the person when viewing. So we go back onto this farm now. So like I said, the first thing that I would do there, if you want to keep all these trees and everything and keep that spooky theme, first and foremost, change the farm name so that it really doesn't look like it's just a name of a person, a nickname. So then they read straight away, they go straight onto this farm, Spooky Meadows, Spooky Woods, Spooky Woodlands. So when they read that name, this is the farm that we're going on to, it gives a hint as to what the farm is about. Same as Scatterbrook, you've got all different names that people have got, flowing meadows, flowing rivers. And when you go on there's loads of rivers flowing. It just helps people. So when they see the name, they know what they're going to expect when they go onto the farm. And the other thing that I would change is this area here. Okay, now what I would do there is I would have a spooky theme. So something, with Halloween decorations or something that stands out, that when you go onto that farm, Spooky Meadows, when they go onto this farm, the first thing that they're going to look at is this area here. And that sets the farm off in good stead as to what rest is to come. So if you've got a spooky design here, they think, oh, that's nice. Oh, yeah, Spooky Meadow. And they look at the name of the farm, then they look at the design and think, oh, this is what he's done. Then when they go to this area, it coincides this area. And then it all becomes one, and then the name fits and the farm fits. I hope you can see where I'm coming from. So what I've done for Spooky, or the name of this viewer, what I've been and done for you is I have gone onto my other farm, Crowman Farm, and I have done a spooky design for you. Now, I haven't used a lot of stuff. But what I've done, I've just done something quick and basic. And I've used stuff that sort of coins and that is, because I have noticed, like you say, you're level 42. So you're not going to have a great deal of stuff. But what I've done is this. Okay. So as you can see, what I've done is I've tried to build a spooky path going up between these dead trees. Now, this is the only way really that you can use the dead trees to effect. So I put the black slabs weaving their way, zigzagging up between the dead trees. So it gives it that lovely spooky entrance and that effect as you're walking up between the trees, and then into like a little graveyard area. So you've got a bench and some gravel path, and you put whatever you want in there. You know, when it comes to the Halloween deco, you can buy a couple of pumpkins and things like that you can put in there. Then you can add a few dead trees and also some live trees at the back. So that just gives it that, it doesn't look as though everything is all dead and it just looks barren. So you put a few green trees and conifers and white flowers around the outside just to give it that lovely effect at the back. And the green trees will actually make the dead trees stand out rather than all being dead. Then I put some daffodils and some purple flowers. You know, it gives that spooky effect, the purple and the yellow and around, and the white fence, the spooky white fence going down either side, and then the green hedge all the way around the outside. And what I've done is I've put these crops areas around the outside, and like I've done on my design on Scatter 1, they will grow up to look like that. Okay, so they're going to be a nice orange glow around that feature. So you've got, you know, you can see that the symmetry that I've got there. You've got the lights at the back that really set it off, and then you've got the lovely glow of the pumpkins growing around the outside. So it really, really sets the feature off. So, like I said, we go back there to Crow. So if you can imagine that feature with those orange pumpkins growing up around the outside, that's really, really going to set it off. And that feature there on the corner, when they go onto the farm, it zooms to about there or there, and they see the name. First thing they see, like you're seeing on what you're seeing on mine there, Crowman Farm. Okay, there's a crate there. What are we going to get? Nothing. Now, Crowman was the man that built Wurzel Gummidge, which was the scarecrow that came to life in Scatterbrook Farm. So I've named this other farm Crowman Farm. So you've got Scatterbrook Farm and Crowman Farm. So it all comes inside this program. So yeah. So if you can imagine then that you've got spooky hollows or spooky woodlands, as soon as they see that name, straight away they're going to be confronted with that design there. So straight away they think, oh yeah, that's what spooky meadows. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh yeah. So then when they drift across and they see more dead trees, they're not going to think, oh, it's abandoned farm. They're going to look at it and say, oh yeah, he's got all the dead trees to make it even more spookier around this area. So that one feature is setting up the whole farm and shows off the rest of it here. So it's basically telling a story that it's a spooky farm. Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll put that to there so you can screenshot the you can make it a bit bigger if you want. If you want the graveyard to be a little bit bigger, you can always, expand it bigger. It's just giving you a rough guide as to what you could do to make a spooky entrance. So we go back to there and we will go back to spooky. Okay. So again, as soon as you go on to there, all it says is spooky. Now, some people might look at it and say, oh yeah, it does look spooky. But the majority will look at it and think, well, that's a nickname. Go on to the farm. Oh, I don't want him on my friend's bar. Look at all that dead stuff. Oh dear, no thank you. And off they go. Now add that feature onto this corner. Change the name to, let's just say Spooky Meadows. Or Spooky View. Something like that. Something with the word spooky in it. And then when they go onto that farm, that feature with all the pumpkins glowing around the outside, he's got a couple there, look. If you imagine that around the whole of the feature, it will stand out and it really does look spooky. So, not a problem with this. There's a couple of things that you've got there that sort of blend in and you can't really see. But if that's how you want it, absolutely fine. No problem at all. It's quite nice how you've got it spaced out there with the different machines in between, and the black path to make it look spooky in between. So yeah, overall then, the farm, I'm happy that you've got this area here. You can see that you've took a lot of time and placing these trees out and putting different dead shrubs here and dead trees there, just to give it that spooky effect. But again, like I said, you need to change that name of the farm. Even if it was just Spooky Farm. Spooky Farm. It's telling everybody, oh, we're going to a spooky farm. Then you've got that feature there. That's the bullseye. That's the one that sets the farm alight. And as soon as they see that, they're going to say, oh, spooky farm. Yeah, look at that there. He's got that. Then they want to tour the rest of the farm. And when they see all these dead trees, just by that feature and the name of the farm, sets the whole farm up as spooky. So that's it. So thank you, Spooky, for asking me to review your farm. If any of you guys want a review on your farm and any pointers, or you want me to give my views, just let me know down in the comments. And by all means, I'll go over your farm and have a little look and tell you what I think. I'm not going to be harsh. I'm not going to stand there and absolutely rip it apart. If I see something that I think is a little bit awkward or a little bit wrong, I'll just let you know in a nice way. I'm not there to rip farms apart. I mean, I'm sure Spooky will agree there that what I've said there is valuable points, and it'll help him in the future with his farm and the way that it looks. So don't forget, share the videos with all your friends, hit the subscribe button. They are slowly rising now, the subscribers. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. It's always nice that I can sort of read the comments to see what your views are of the video that I've done. And yeah, Spooky, I hope this has helped you. Crackling on with your farm. You've got the dead trees there. It's one way that you can use the dead trees, but like I said, get the name right for the farm, and that sets everybody up for the whole outlook of the farm. So like I said, until the next video, take good care of yourselves, stay safe, and we will see you very soon. Cheerio.